Hello and welcome to the 5th soundbite of Tiffany Talks Tarot. So that's a bit of a tongue twister. Let's see if I can manage to talk through this one. So the High Priest is next. Here we are. Now, quite a lot of people don't really like the masculine archetypes in the tarot. We did the Emperor last, and yeah, in terms of my students, I've noticed that people often tend to have the most problems with the Emperor and the High Priest, both of which stand for authority, and the High Priest, or Hierophant as it says here, known as Pope, is a Holy Father. So there's something here about father energies. Now the Emperor, whereas he is the father of the world, the High Priest is the father of the spiritual world. And he's unlike the High Priestess. He's the opposite of the High Priestess. In the High Priestess, we spoke about all of those internal processes, whereas the High Priest, he learns about spirituality and he applies it to the world. And we have the sign of Taurus for this card. So maybe you know some Taurians that are like that they love to learn. I know the Taurians that I know are some of the most intelligent people I've ever come across. The amount that they know absolutely astounds me. Their general knowledge, I mean, I'd never play Trivial Pursuit with them, for instance. That's a bad joke, sorry. I would indeed play Trivial Pursuit with you if you're Taurian. Not. Anyway, we'll move on, because I'm going off on one of my tangents and I'm wiggling around with my camera as well, trying to find the best shot so you don't see how messy the outside shot really is. Right, I'm going to shut up and I'm going to keep talking tarot. So what you've got here is interesting what's coming out of my mouth, because the High Priest is about cover-ups in a sense as well. Look how much he's covered up, and how many cover-ups do we have in the church? How many cover-ups do we have in authority? How many cover-ups do we have in society? And that's what the High Priest is. He represents government still, and he represents education still. You know, those days when we went through, you know, very Christian type schools. So in a way, the Fool has now met the masculine and feminine side in the Magician and the High Priestess, and he's met his mother and his father in the Empress and the Emperor, and now he's been packed off to school basically. And what we have here, unlike the High Priestess who had a triple silver crown, what we have with the High Priest is a triple golden crown. So the silver crown in the High Priestess was Maiden, Mother and Crone, and what you have in the Hierophant here is Father, Son and Holy Spirit, which is the same as that scepter that he's holding. Unlike the High Priestess, his pillars are grey. Hers was one black and one white, showing that she will dive down to the darkest parts of herself to create, to be reborn, to regenerate. Whereas the pillars here are like saying this is the safe middle road. You won't need to do any of that if you follow me. Okay, so this is very much about the pillars of society. It's about protection, it's about structure and tradition. And it doesn't really like change, just like Taurus. And if you look at the church finds it difficult to change. It's steeped in so much tradition, it's difficult. However, fives also represent the fifth spirit, thank you. So, or the fifth element, should I say? Yes, the fifth element, which is spirit. So when we looked at the Magician, we had 4 elements we looked at: earth, air, fire and water. And here with the High Priest, you have the 5th, which is spirit. Okay, so he is a channel for spirit, but in a very orthodox, very traditional sense of the word. Represents things to do with learning, education, society, tradition, loyalty, steadfastness, reliability, basically everything to do with Taurus. If you read up about that, maybe have a think about some of the Taurians you know, or whether you're a Taurian, if any of this resonates for you. And I will hopefully see you at the next card, which is the Lovers. Now, if that doesn't tempt you, I don't know what will. And in the meantime, if you would like to look at learning more, please see my website, tiffanycrosara.com, where I have courses, or of course you can see me for a reading. All right, take care. Bye for now.